A successful day for Nebraskans for the death penalty. With the huge number of signatures turned in, the repeal of capital punishment is now on hold. They needed 57,000 valid names to get capital punishment on the ballot in 2016, and tonight they have roughly 3 times that. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Griswold.
And I'm Craig Negrelli. When the state legislature abolished the death penalty earlier this year, it touched off a costly political firestorm that we learned tonight might last nearly 2 years. KMTV Action 3 News reporter Kevin Boughton is live to explain tonight. Kevin.
The campaign reached the signature threshold quickly and then greatly exceeded it, but it needed big money to do it. These financial statements filed with the state show Governor Pete Ricketts' family was the largest single donor to the cause, while the Washington, D.C.-based Judicial Crisis Network donated $200,000 just last month. And Nebraskans for the death penalty's biggest expense was paying people to gather signatures. These stacked boxes represent Vivian Tuttle's recent work and her enduring loss.
My daughter was so full of life, and she wanted to help people.
Tuttle's daughter, Yvonne Tuttle, one of 5 people killed in 2002 when 3 men walked into a Norfolk bank and started shooting. The courts sentenced those men to death. This was Vivian Tuttle after the sentencing in 2003.
There's no way that he can ever be a successful citizen in society. It won't happen.
Wednesday, Tuttle and other volunteers who collected signatures for the petition drive delivered them to the Secretary of State's office. In fact, Nebraskans for the death penalty says nearly 600 people collected signatures. Spokesman Chris Peterson estimates the group spent about $800,000 on the labor.
In reality, you can't do these kind of massive efforts without also a paid component, and we were very pleased with the success of that piece of things as well.
And while this group is happy with the results of the petition drive, there are fellow conservatives who say the death penalty doesn't belong in Nebraska.
It's too expensive, it's not pro-life, it's not effective, and it's really hard on victims' families to drag out the process. So Nebraskans have made it clear they don't want it, and they'll make it clear again at the ballot box.
Capital punishment opponents have large financial backing. Nebraskans for Public Safety received $400,000 from the Proteus Action League in Massachusetts. Now, that money will likely shift toward a campaign to sway voters. Tuttle's mind is made up, but her heart remains heavy.
We're not celebrating. We're just glad that this is over.
And the Omaha Police Officers Union also gave $10,000 to the petition campaign. The state will send those signatures back to the counties from which they came, where local officials can verify that those signatures are from registered voters. That process should take about 40 days. Kevin Boughton, Action 3 News.
On that note, recently I sat down with UNO political science professor Paul Landau, who is also an analyst for KMTV. He believes there will surely be enough valid signatures to get the death penalty issue on the 2016 ballot. And he says get ready for a blizzard of ads on both sides.
If it makes the ballot, it'll be a big issue. And one reason it'll be a big issue is because so much money is going to drive it on both sides. You'll see money flooding in here from all over the United States on both sides of that issue for television, radio, newspaper advertising.
Landau says the issue is so big it will drive even more voters to the polls in 2016. He says it is not a slam dunk. The repeal will lose. Capital punishment is getting lots of feedback on our social media sites tonight. Gordon Goodley tweeted to me this: keeping it will keep us in company with countries like China, Pakistan, Iran, Libya, and Saudi Arabia. On Facebook, Julie said this: keep the death penalty and use it. Amanda wrote, for or against the petition was to let the issue be voted on by the people. So if you are against the death penalty, you should sign, then vote against it.
Now.